Hi, I'm your typical suburban guy. My name is Pat. I used to blog on Yahoo 360, and when they got rid of that, I was left without an outlet. So finally I decided, let's do this. Obviously I have limited camera experience and stuff is going to happen like it is right now. I was born in 1968. I came to age in the 80s. I wasn't the best in school. I squeaked by on the thinnest of margins and graduated on time. Today I'm married with a set of twins. There'll be 3 later this year. I love history, music, camping, gaming, at least until I met my wife, learning new things. I entered the District of Columbia Air National Guard when I was 17. At first I was a radio operator, then I cross-trained into radio maintenance. I was activated a few times. Desert Shield in 1990 and sent to the Azores for a couple of months. Desert Shield, I was in the Pentagon for a few months. Kosovo Crisis in 1999, we were activated. We were due to go to Albania, but then Milosevic declared a ceasefire a couple days before we were supposed to go. I know, that's very sad. And I was activated and actually deployed for Katrina. I did go overseas on a few exercises in Germany and Turkey. You'll never hear me say that I served in a combat zone because I did not, and I have enormous admiration for those who did. I spent most of my time as a traditional guardsman, you know, the 1 week in a month deal. I did some active duty here and there. I figured cumulatively it adds up to 2 or 3 years. And I did about 3.5 years full-time in my unit as a quality assurance specialist. I retired in 2007 as a master sergeant. Here's the first of my opinion and commentaries. Serving in the military is a privilege. It is not a right. The sense of entitlement that many Americans seem to have must stop when it comes to this. Admiral Mike Mullen, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, has said that those who disagree with lifting the ban on gays serving should leave the service by voting with their feet. I thought that we were in the midst of 2 wars right now. We still have Al-Qaeda making definite threats to our country and our friends. We have North Korea, Iran, and others showing definite threats to us and our interests. Is this the time to jettison those members of the military who we've spent dollars recruiting and training simply because they openly disagree with the president? It takes time, experience, motivation, training, and a lot of sweat to create a top-notch military. Simply waving our warfighters off because they don't adhere to the current groupthink from Washington is dangerous and irresponsible and will erode our nation's capacity for self-defense. This is not a civil rights issue. It's an entitlement issue and dovetails completely into the typical Democratic attempt to wreck the military. For example, I smoke, and I understand the military's semi-harassment of smokers. On an individual basis, in most cases, smoking compromises your ability to do your job during combat. I understand the dress and appearance requirements. The military is just like other careers. There are minimum standards. We should not expect those standards to be lowered simply because it's politically expedient. Hell, I'd like to be a judge. I don't have a law degree. I don't have experience. I don't have tenure. But I'd like to be a judge. I watch Judge Judy. It's my civil right to be a judge because I want to be one. Yes, I'm inexperienced and I have notes. Sometimes what is good for the country contrasts with what is good for a particular party. However, the Democrats' I am the state attitude continuously gets this country into trouble. Sometimes that also happens with Republicans. I plan to visit this in subsequent podcasts. I believe in a strong national defense. That's why I'm a Republican. But I'm not a typical Republican. I have very strong libertarian principles. But unlike some of my libertarian friends, I believe that the limited power of government should be used ethically, and this includes enforcing human and civil rights for all of our citizens. I am embarrassed that it took until the 1960s for the door to start creaking open for African Americans. It should have happened when this country was started. The power of government can and should, on a case-by-case basis, be used to combat institutionalized discrimination based on stupidity. We're all citizens, and we should be equal. It should not be used to prohibit discrimination based on deviance. If you are deviant and want to practice your lifestyle, do it in private. Don't expect me to celebrate because you want to try to change your gender, be a homosexual, have sex with animals or children, or anything else bizarre. I have gay friends and family, and I love them, but I'm not going to pretend for a second that I agree with their choice. Alright, some more about me. I've had an interesting array of jobs. I've been a bricklayer's helper, a carpenter's helper, a legal receptionist, a salesman, a karaoke host, an electronics technician, a telecom technician, and right now I'm a supervisor in the telecom industry. I have an associate's in applied science from the Community College of the Air Force in electronic systems technology, and I am a couple of years from obtaining a business degree at Strayer University. I am a huge parrot head. That is what fans of Jimmy Buffett are called. I love the Washington Redskins, despise the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. I don't pay attention to Major League Baseball, basketball, soccer, or any of those other women's sports. Your questions and comments are appreciated. You can reply via YouTube, PatCast at rocketmail.com, or the PatCast page on Facebook. Thank you.